Hi, welcome to Business Forward. This is Travis Markwood with the Lancaster-Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce, and we're here at the Lancaster Public Transit facility, and I'm with Director Carrie Woody. How you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for coming over.
Absolutely. We're in your office, and this is where it all happens for Lancaster Public Transit. Tell us a little bit about the history of how this service came to be.
So I'll give you the best I can, Travis. I've been
Okay.
here for about 10 years. And what I have found is there's not a lot of history books for me to actually look up a lot of our history. But I do know, based on a lot of the citizens here in town that have been here for the decades, they constantly come to me with stories about how maybe in their 60s and 70s now, when they used to ride the trolley service and the bus loops that were available to them when they were in kindergarten.
Okay.
And they didn't have public school buses. They rode the public transit bus to get to school when they were like in kindergarten. So I have tokens from the 50s and 60s. Now it did change for a while, and it was a taxi service for a little while.
Okay.
And then in the 80s, the state came in and then redesigned and made us a public transit system again.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Now, you've been with the organization for 10 years, and since then, it's changed quite a bit. So you've expanded a lot. I know you've done a lot of great work. So talk to us a little bit about what the last 10 years has looked like.
So when the city came to me and we were talking about this position, we had 8 vehicles, and they basically said, look, you can make this go, or we can shut it down and you can find another job.
Okay.
So I knew if I wanted to have a job here at the city, it was time to make it go.
Sure.
So we started as a city service, quickly expanded to do a little bit outside of the city.
Okay.
In 2010, we added Violet Township and Pickerington into our service area.
Okay.
And then in 2011, went completely countywide. So now we offer public transit to the entire county. And then in 2013, we started bringing back some of those old routes that we used to operate that people were telling me about in the 50s and 60s.
Okay, very cool. Now, who is Lancaster Public Transit for? Who are your clients?
Everyone.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of people think that it's just elderly disabled individuals. And we do a lot of that. But our ridership is about 50-50, where about 50% of our ridership is elderly disabled individuals in the community, and the rest are just your general public. We have kids that ride to school. We have moms that we take in the morning to get the kids to daycare and then take them to work. We have some professionals that ride with us. So we do a little bit of everything.
Right. So I could contract directly with you just to haul my kids around back and forth to basketball practice? and
My
such?
kids do that.
Oh, that would be wonderful. I like that idea.
You know, I can't ever use the excuse that I can't attend that meeting because I
Right.
have to take my kids to practice,
Right.
because they look at me cross-eyed like, well, you're the transit director. Why aren't your kids riding transit
Yeah.
to their practice
Sure.
so that you can attend this meeting?
Yeah.
So my kids, all 4 of my children, have ridden public transit,
Uh-huh.
and I get all kinds of fun stories because they don't hold spar with the drivers. They
Right.
are very open and honest about our family.
Good deal. Yeah, they get to learn a lot
Yeah,
about
there are
you.
no secrets in this
Yeah,
office.
good deal. So tell me a little bit about the facility that we're at here and the fleet. I think you started across the street, right? And kind of have moved over here in recent
So
years?
we've not been across the street. We've had a couple different buildings on this side.
Okay.
And so, again, because it was such a small operation, it was easy to move us back and forth where they needed us.
Okay.
So we moved into this building, I want to say in 2008.
Okay.
It used to be the old electrical department. So when we came in, there were a lot of wires hanging here, there, and everywhere.
Gotcha.
And we have gradually been writing grants to slowly renovate the building
Okay.
a little bit at a time.
Okay.
So we've been here since 2008. So this building that we're in right now is the administrative facilities.
Okay.
This is where our reservations, scheduling, dispatching all takes place, all of our driver training. And then we have a separate building on the lot is where our mechanic works. And so we have a wash bay and all of our lifts to do maintenance. And those are our 2 facilities. And then we have a parking lot. All of our buses are parked outside.
Okay. And you're on Lawrence Street, correct?
We
Kind of
are on
across
Lawrence
from
Street.
LDOT and beside the water treatment.
We are
plant,
right in front of the water treatment department, and we love Mike Nixon.
Yeah.
But on hot summer days, that wind blows right into our office.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't tell the fire chief, but we do light candles.
Okay. Yeah, well, we won't tell him that. But yes, hopefully he's not watching, right?
Because safety first.
Right, safety first. Well, I tell you what, I know we want to see a little bit more about the facility we're at here. We want to take a look at the actual buses that we're using, and then we also want to go take a look at your Wheeling Street transfer, where really a lot of the action has been happening here recently, and that's where a lot of people catch their ride.
Yes. In fact, I mean, that transfer point and the loops that we've started, those routes, about 50% of our ridership now are strictly on those routes every day. So it's great.
Good. Well, let's go take a look at a bus.
Thanks.
All right. Welcome back to Business Forward. Again, I'm Travis Markwood with the Lancaster-Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce, and we're at the Lancaster Public Transit Facility, and we've actually boarded one of the buses, and I'm here again with Director Carrie Woody. And we're inside one of your buses, and describe to us a little bit what we're looking at. I mean, multiple seats, handicap accessible.
Yep. So I'm going to call you out, Travis. Sorry. Is this your first time on the bus?
No, I've been on one of
okay.
these buses before, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, this is similar to what you're going to find on any of our buses. Our seats range on every single bus. We purposely order different configurations because we have different needs.
Sure.
So you'll notice towards the back of the bus, we leave a little more space because we have wheelchairs and walkers and things like that we need to make room for. So this particular bus, we can seat 2 wheelchairs. And then we also have seats that we can flip up and down if we need to make more room for people in the back in mobility devices, or we can have them down if we need more people to sit in the seats.
Okay.
Most of our buses come with grab rails, and that way, if maybe on our routes people have to stand, they can stand using that grab rail. On our route buses, we also have these pull cords so that if somebody needs to stop, they let their driver know to stop at that location.
Okay.
And so, again, they're all fairly similar. Our demand response buses, and those are the buses where you would call into our office to schedule a ride.
So they're not on a regular loop.
You're not on a regular scheduled route.
Call ahead.
Yep, you're going to call ahead. It's a little more expensive. It's $2 instead of 50 cents to ride the demand response. But again, we're going to pick you up at your home, and you're going to pre-schedule that trip so that the driver takes you to your scheduled destination.
Okay.
And so those buses, again, they're probably not going to have the grab rails, the pull cords, because the driver already knows where you're getting off at that point in time.
Okay.
And typically those have maybe less ambulatory seats because a lot of those riders are going to be in those mobility devices. So we need more spaces for the mobility devices.
Okay, interesting. Now, you said you can call ahead, but you can also, man, there's a lot of activity going around here today, isn't
It's
there?
a busy place. So we have the fuel depot at our office, and
Absolutely.
so all city vehicles fuel here at our office,
good.
and they like to say hello sometimes.
Absolutely, why wouldn't you? So we mentioned you can schedule to come pick you up at your house, take you to your appointment, wherever you need to go, come back. But then there's also a scheduled loop system, correct?
Yes, and
Can
so
you
we
describe
have,
those?
we currently have 5 routes total. So we have 4 here in Lancaster. We have one that runs along the Memorial Drive corridor. We have the number 2 that runs out to Olivedale and then East Main Street. And then we have our number 3, which is our West Loop, and that heads the west side of town, heading like Edie Road out to the Rock Mill Industrial Park. We're hitting Pierce Avenue and a lot of the west side of town. We have our number 6, the Sheridan Loop, and that's going to hit Sheridan Drive, Route 37, OUL, and then the library. And then our 5th loop is actually in Pickerington.
Okay.
So we leave Lancaster hitting Benson Park and Carroll, and then we head up to Pickerington, run those loops all day long until 4 o'clock, and then head back.
Okay.
And so for those loops, you really you get a schedule. You can call our office to get that schedule. You can download it online, and you just go to your nearest bus stop at whatever time you choose. You hand the driver your 50-cent fare, and then you hop on the bus and let them know where you went off.
Awesome. I mean, 50 cents, that's super affordable.
Right?
Yeah.
We also sell monthly passes for $30, unlimited on those routes, and those are really popular.
I bet. So you can go to your website, I assume, and find all the bus stops, and there's
Correct.
a map for all this.
We have schedules, we have maps. If you're not comfortable with using an online system, you can call our office. We'll mail those to you. Our Fairfield County 211 office has those available. Job and Family Services has them available. There's several businesses throughout the county that keep those on hand.
Okay. And how many buses again?
So we currently have 28.
28. And routes run until how late in the day? Start how early in the morning and how late at night?
So currently our demand response starts at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday and operates till 6 p.m. And then our loop service, those routes run from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then we operate Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. But we will be, here in the next month, extending those routes, those loop hours. And we're going to be operating Monday through Friday until 10 p.m., which is really exciting because we have a lot of individuals that work second shift retail, food service that we end up taking to work, but then they have to walk home. So now we'll be able to get them home, and we're really excited about that.
Excellent. And I know we're going to be working together to get some of the local manufacturers on board, too, to see if we can help with getting their employees to their different shifts as well.
Yes, and I think that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, also, if we talk a little bit about how many buses we have, the loops that we run, and the system that you can go on to schedule online, but you call, you don't schedule online. Is that correct?
So we actually do have a brand new feature where you can actually do your trips online. It's if you go to the city's website, it's going to forward you to some links, and then you can schedule your stuff online. You can also download an app. It's called the EcoLane app. That's the name of our scheduling software. And then you put in Lancaster, Ohio as your location, and then you can actually download that app and do your trips on your mobile devices. And so that's new for us as well, and people are really liking that.
Excellent. You know, we actually do have one of your drivers here with us today. I believe Dakota's up front here.
Dakota's like the jack of all trades,
okay.
actually.
Okay.
He dispatches, he schedules, he drives, he does it all.
Okay. Now, talk a little bit about your drivers. I'm sure, what kind of training do they have, and how long have they been with you, tenured individuals?
So we have drivers that have been here longer than I have, and then we have all the way down to a few months on the road. They typically go through at least 2 to 3 weeks of training. We do a lot of background checks, of course, pre-employment testing. They have to pass all their driving certifications. They have to pass a DOT physical. So they go through a lot of trainings.
Sure. Excellent. Well, I know we want to go take a look, too, at the transfer at Wheeling Street. So
Yes.
we're going to head over there for the final segment of the show. So why don't we say goodbye to Dakota as we exit the bus, and we'll head over there. Welcome back to Business Forward. Again, we're with the Lancaster Transit system today, public transit system, and we're with Carrie Woody. She's the director, and we've made our way over to the Wheeling Street transfer.
Yes.
And we're right across from JFS, right?
Yes, we're between JFS and Zebco. And I will say that Zebco has been such a wonderful partner for us. When we started this transfer point, we were a little concerned that they wouldn't like us very well, but they've actually been really nice to work with, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, excellent. It's about 10:45 in the morning. We're filming here on a Friday. As you can see, we have about 5-6 buses lined up here, and they're all ready to head out to their loops, right?
Yes. So every hour they meet here, and individuals can transfer back and forth on those different routes depending on what side of town they want to go to. It's a 10-cent transfer fee, and then so they just kind of get on whichever bus they want and head out for the next hour.
Okay, excellent. Do you have any idea approximately how many people are here on any given day? How many people ride?
Any given day, we average anywhere from around 20 to 40 riders
Okay.
any hour.
At any hour,
Any
every
hour
hour.
of the day, yep.
Okay, all right. And you mentioned the loops before, so again, these buses stop here how often?
Every hour between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Okay, they head out and they come back, so you can always pick up one of the loops right here. Now, there are some plans for this stretch here. You
Yes.
announced in an earlier event that we had, the State of the City address, that you got some exciting news about having a little bit of a shelter here, right?
Yes. So as you can see, our riders, if they're waiting on the bus here, if it's raining, if it's snowing, or any inclement weather, they have to stand out here in
Right.
open weather. So Fairfield County Foundation and the Ohio Department of Transportation actually gave us money in grants so that we can replace all the sidewalks, make them a little more accessible because they're kind of hard to walk across right now. And then we'll be installing a bus shelter here. So we're
Awesome.
really excited about that.
How soon is that coming?
Later this spring.
Okay, awesome. Now, we talked a little bit about some new things coming. What else is in store for the public transit system?
So we are going to be extending our route hours. I think I'd mentioned earlier. We're going to extend those till 10 p.m. We have a first Saturday route that we are piloting right now. So the first Saturday of every month, you can actually be here at this West Wheeling transfer point and hop on and do an hourly loop. And then we are also looking at adding some service to a little more service to the industrial parks here in town. And then we're also looking at some commuter service to the Rickenbacker area and more connector service in Dakota. We have a lot of individuals that work in downtown Columbus and are
Okay.
looking for commuter services.
Okay, that makes sense. You're connecting the whole system, really, from a regional standpoint, which
Yes.
we know in this area is important for employment.
Yes, absolutely. And so we have worked really closely with Rick Zabrak, trying to stay up with the latest trends.
County Economic Development Director. Yep.
Yes. And so trying to stay up with the current trends and see where those needs are so that we can try and address those.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, I tell you what, we're kind of wrapping things up here. If folks want to learn a little bit more about Lancaster Public Transit or find out more about their loops, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way?
The best way is to call our office, phone number 740-681-5086, or you can always get my contact information on the city's website.
Okay, great. Well, listen, we really appreciate you being on the show today. Thanks to you and all your employees. You guys do a wonderful job, provide a wonderful service here in the community.
Thanks, Travis.
Excellent. All right, folks, you've been watching, again, Business Forward. This is a production in partnership with Interface Video and the Lancaster-Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce. Until next time.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster or 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Hi, welcome to the Young Professionals segment of Business Forward. This is brought to you by Cryo Communication, and we're here in the actual Chamber of Commerce offices, where the offices of Destination Downtown are also located. And I happen to have Colin Hedicoat with me today, and you're the program coordinator as of how long ago?
Since March, so just a few months, not too long.
He's still playing that I'm the new guy card.
Yes, that helps me. That's a good card to have. I probably have one more month of I'm the new guy card left, but I like that card.
Good deal. Well, listen, I know you're doing a great job with the organization, but let's get to know you a little bit more. You're a local guy. You went to school here, and you're going to school here, right?
That's right. So I went to Lancaster High School, and it's really cool because during that time, I was a volunteer for DDL. So I got to know a little bit about the organization before I actually worked for it. And I still go to college. I go to Ohio Christian University. I live in Lancaster, born and raised in Lancaster. I love Lancaster. It's a special place for me. So
good. Now, you've played multiple roles in our community. You said you volunteered. I know you did a lot of work for the festival. Still do work for the festival.
That's right.
And we're right in festival time right now.
Yeah. So for the past 4 years, I've been the assistant to Maestro Sheldon. I've got to work with him and kind of be behind the scenes at all the different festival events.
Very cool. So you recently took the job with DDL, and tell me a little bit about what your responsibilities are with Destination Downtown.
Well, I focus mostly on our programs. So my job is to bring people downtown and create cool events for them to go to. One of our biggest ones coming up is the Art Walk.
Sure.
So that's super exciting. But I also focus on marketing and working with all the businesses in our district to make sure that we get the word out about their specials that they may be having, posting things on social media, just really putting a spotlight on those businesses.
Excellent. Well, I know you spend an awful lot of time downtown making things happen, and you put in a lot of hours with all the events that are happening. But what do you like to do on the weekends when you get a little bit of free time?
Well, I do like to spend my free time downtown, even when I'm not working.
Good.
But I enjoy DJing. I'm a DJ.
Okay.
So I go to weddings and stuff on the weekends and do that. I enjoy camping, going to concerts. I just went to country concert, and that was really cool.
Excellent. Well, listen, it's been great having you on the show. Keep up the good work. Enjoy working across the hall from you.
Thank you so much.
As a company of young professionals, Cryo Communications is proud to sponsor this segment. We specialize in helping businesses and organizations get the right message to the right audience, at the right time, and in the right way. To learn more about Cryo Communications and how they can help you with your communication needs, visit them at cryocommunications.com.
Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Bloom Carroll Bulldogs.
It was a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a
the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up fourth down.
And we're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you.
The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions, first time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
Congratulations, and be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.